The Taoiseach has flatly rejected advice from the Economic and Social Research Institute to adopt policies to slow down the economy rather than embark on a campaign to attract skilled immigrants. The advice is contained in the latest quarterly commentary from the ESRI. The Institute is also calling for the tax cuts promised in the new national agreement to be postponed and for mortgage interest relief to be abolished. The Minister for Finance says he's not particularly worried about the comments by the ESRI.
The government's economic strategy involves big tax cuts, measures to support homeowners and a campaign to attract 200,000 immigrants from abroad. But the ESRI, which is a state-funded economic think tank, says this strategy is all wrong and could end in tears. It wants the government to change tack. It believes that budgetary changes to deliberately slow down the economy now would be far preferable than the planned campaign to attract immigrants from abroad. And it's calling on the government to abolish mortgage interest relief and to introduce other measures to take money out of the housing market.
If you pump the money in now, you're going to get bad value in terms of when you go out and spend it in the shops. When you spend it on houses, you'll get bad value on spending it on houses today. Whereas if you wait a year or two when the economy slowed down, the government will then be able to afford to give back even more money.
Speaking at an EU summit in Lisbon today, the Taoiseach flatly rejected the ESRI advice.
I'm not going to charge out to lead the policy as soon as we've got the first few years ever of bringing people back since the famine to try to put my hand in the dike to stop it. A lot of Irish people out there who I think we owe it to give an opportunity.
The ESRI is also warning that if the tax cuts included in the new national agreement ratified yesterday are not postponed, then the economy could be seriously endangered in the medium term. The government has been very quick to dump on the ESRI advice. Finance Minister Charlie McCreevy says he's not particularly worried about what they said and that it's a sign of our economic manhood when we see people wanting to come back to this country to take up jobs. Taoiseach Mary Harney also lashed out. She insisted that tax cuts will keep inflation down and that people are entitled to expect low tax rates when times are good. And she stuck to her guns on immigration too, saying her immigration plans will help to solve our labour shortage problems. George Lee, RTE News at Government Buildings.